Two mobile police squadrons established in Zamfara State. Nigeria records 389 new cases of COVID-19, total now 8,733. Nigerian government directs states and proprietors to reopen schools. On business, World Bank approves $346 million for Lake Chad. And on the international scene, Lebanon repatriates 69 stranded Nigerians. Welcome to Standard Voice Television News. My name is Samira Ibrahim. Now the news in full. The Zamfara State Executive Governor, Dr. Bello Muhammad Matawallan Maradon, has announced the establishment of two mobile police squadrons in the state. The governor made the disclosure when he received people of Shinkafi local government to a Salah homage at his Maradon country home. Dr. Bello Muhammad Matawalli noted with satisfaction that the federal government has honored his request for the establishment of two additional mobile police squadrons in the state for the purpose of improving the security of lives and properties of the citizens. He further explained that the two mobile police squadrons will be situated at Shinkafi and Maradon local government areas of the state. Governor Matawalli explained that the two squadron commanders have already been deployed and that his government is working hard for the successful and smooth take-up of the squadrons. Governor Matawalli added that with the establishment of the two police squadrons, a lot of security challenges facing the state will further be reduced, as the development will also strengthen the peace process initiated by his administration, which has yielded positive results. He maintained that it was as a result of the peace talks that all the markets and the roads that were hitherto closed were opened and a lot of commercial activities have now fully resumed without any fear of any form of attack. The governor also commended President Muhammadu Buhari and the police high command for honoring his request, leading to the establishment of the mobile police squadrons in the state. Delivering the Salah homage message on behalf of the Shinkafi Local Government Council, leader of the delegation, Dr. Sani Abdullahi Shinkafi, said they were at the governor's residence to thank him for approving the sum of 2.7 billion naira for the construction of the referral hospital in Shinkafi town that will improve healthcare services for all the people of Zamfara North Senatorial District. The Wamban Shinkafi also commended the governor for tackling the insecurity that bedeviled the area for almost 8 years, saying that before now, Shinkafi was the epicenter of kidnapping, cattle rustling, and armed banditry, which made people to lead other areas in the payment of kidnap ransom, as testified by MD Abubakar Committee report, but that now there is peace in the area and the security of lives and properties has improved significantly since his assumption as the state chief executive. The Zamfara State Executive Governor, Dr. Bello Muhammad Matawallan Maradon, has charged parents and guardians in the state to use all resources available to them in giving their children and youth sound education while preparing them as future leaders. Governor Matawalli made this statement at the statewide broadcast to commemorate the 2020 Children's Day celebration in the state. He said the state government has dedicated 18.5% of its 2020 budget to the education sector, with the belief that if children's education is not given the attention it deserves, the future of our society will be bleak, noting that education, though a long-term investment, is the bedrock of societal development. He called for more sound policies and programs that will improve the well-being of Nigerian children, as investing in them is akin to investing in our future, because children of today are the ones to take over the mantle of societal affairs tomorrow, saying that we must therefore mobilize all the resources at our disposal towards ensuring that they receive the best in terms of education, healthcare, moral and religious training. He lamented that children are subjected to high rates of child mortality, illiteracy, and subjection to all forms of inhuman treatments, because most of them lack sound education which they can apply to stand and fight for their rights. The Zamfara State House of Assembly resumed plenary today after 2 months of recess as a result of coronavirus pandemic that devastated the country and world at large. But after due consideration of all the facts, the Speaker of the House of Assembly, Right Honorable Nasiru Ma'azu Magaria, was left with no alternative than to take the most dignifying step of dignitary of necessity to open the Harlow Chamber for legislative business. To this end, The legislative activities of the House will be commenced today, Tuesday, by 10 a.m., prompt with usual House plenary. Earlier on, a statement from the House urges all members and other legislative staff to be at the Assembly complex for the business of the day. Social and physical distance will be observed during the plenary as enshrined in the Nigerian Center for Disease Control (NCDC) protocol, while a limited number of media organizations will be allowed to cover the sitting. A statement said the general public will not be allowed to witness the sitting. The general public are to take note of these challenges, which are meant to safeguard the people of the state from the coronavirus pandemic. No fewer than 30 bandits have been killed in airstrike conducted by the air component of the Operation Hadarin Daji in the Dambarau Forest area of Zamfara State, the Armed Forces of Nigeria has disclosed. In a statement by the Coordinator of Defense Media Operations, Major General John Eneche, the logistics store belonging to the bandit was also destroyed in the attack. According to the statement, the operation acted based on credible intelligence, which indicated that a structure within the forest was being used by bandits to store their logistics. The statement said the air component of Operation Hadarin Daji has destroyed an armed bandit logistics store and neutralized no fewer than 30 bandits in air strikes conducted in the Dambarau Forest area of Zamfara State. Nigeria has recorded 389 new cases of coronavirus across various states of the country. Announcing this via its official Twitter handle on Wednesday night, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control (NCDC) stated that 256 cases were recorded in Lagos State, 23 in Katsina State, 22 in Edo State, 14 in Rivers State, 13 in Kano State, 11 in Adamawa and Akwa Ibom States, 7 in Kaduna State, and 6 in Kwara and Nasarawa State. The tweet further revealed that 2 cases each were recovered in Gombe, Plateau, Abia, Delta, Benue, Niger, Kogi, and Oyo State, with 1 case each in Imo, Borno, Ogun, and Anambra States. As at now, 8,733 persons have tested positive for COVID-19 in Nigeria, with 2,501 patients discharged and 254 deaths recorded. In its continued effort to curb the spread of COVID-19, Sokoto State Government has provided 810 foot-operated mechanical mobile hand-washing facilities to the general public. Similarly, Unilever Nigeria Limited has donated 879,000 pieces of Sunlight bar soaps as part of its corporate societal responsibility to checkmate the virus. The presentation of the medicine and donation of the soaps were done at the ceremony held in Government House Sokoto in collaboration with the State Rural Water Supply and Sanitation Agency, UNICEF and Unilever. Speaking at the belief ceremony, Governor Waziri Tambuwal said the hand-washing equipment will go a long way in underscoring the message that people need to continuously wash their hands to protect them from getting infected with the COVID-19 disease. He explained that state government deemed it necessary to provide the facilities in view of their importance in fighting the disease, which requires consistent hand-washing machines and soaps. Governor Tambuwal thanked Unilever for donating the soaps and also applauded UNICEF for supporting the initiatives. Governor Abdullahi Umar Ganduje of Kano State has revealed the state in witnessing a decline in the spread of COVID-19 in the state, thanking Almighty Allah for the decline, whom he said made it possible through the unrelenting commitment of the frontline health workers, media men, traditional and religious leaders, among other stakeholders. He made the revelation at the State Task Force media briefing held at Africa House, Government House, Kano, Wednesday, in the presence of the Deputy Governor, who is the chairman of the State Task Force, Dr. Nasiru Yusuf Gawuna, Secretary to the State Government, Commissioners, Co-Chairman of the State Task Force, Professor Abdulrazak Garba Habib, Special Envoy of the Minister of Health on COVID-19 to Kano, Professor Abdulsalam Nasidi, among others. Appreciating the round-the-clock commitment of the frontline health workers and journalists, he observed that though we are aware that there is no definite time for the pandemic to leave us completely, but the success story of all of us here is we are witnessing a decline in the spread of the disease in Kano State. The governor added that While we should learn to always optimize our compliance with the protocols, we'll also understand that there are areas that we must strengthen our strategies towards them. Areas like community engagement is absolutely necessary. He urged that cooperation is dearly needed from the public, through which ways to curtail the disease will be strengthened and enhanced, reminding that the cooperation health workers are getting from the public in many instances help much in bringing up the success story. Our health workers are doing their best, and we promise to protect them all the time so that all the necessary items and equipment needed must be provided, as you are all witnessing. Governor Aminu Waziri Tambol of Sokoto State on Wednesday inaugurated the State Community Policing Advisory Committee inside the council chambers of Sokoto House of Assembly. Speaking at the ceremony, Alhaji Waziri Tambol thanked the police force for its support in protecting lives and properties of the citizenry and for initiating the State Community Policing Advisory Committee, saying that the creation will go a long way in solving many problems in the country. The governor also explained that the state government and security agencies in the state have cordial working relationship with the aim of achieving the desired objective, even as he lamented the challenges being faced by the Nigerian police as a result of lack of adequate manpower, logistics and equipment, among others. He commended the federal government for the establishment of the Police Trust Fund and hoped that with the establishment of the fund, the challenges will be addressed. He also stressed the need for synergy between the Nigerian police and other stakeholders in order to improve security in the country, urging that efforts should be made to ensure that only people with good character are recruited into the Nigerian police force. Uploading the creation of the advisory committee, Governor Tambol assured it of the state government support and cooperation. In his remarks, the Deputy Inspector General of Police, Northwest Zone, DIG Abdul Dahiru Danwawu, said the purpose of establishing the committee is to ensure that all relevant stakeholders are carried along in policing their communities. He added that all voluntary organizations that are duly registered may have a role in this concept of community policing. Secretary to the Government of the Federation and Chairman of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19, Boss Mustafa, has directed state and school proprietors to reopen schools. Mr. Boss Mustafa gave the directive during Wednesday's briefing with journalists in Abuja to give update on the fight against COVID-19 pandemic. The Nigerian government has asked state and privately run schools to begin taking measures that will see children resume to the classrooms. He informed Nigerians that the Federal Ministry of Education will roll out measures for the opening of schools. The Presidential Task Force wishes to use the occasion of this celebration to congratulate our children and assure them, their parents and all stakeholders alike that all hands are on deck to reopen schools at a safe time. He therefore used this medium to urge states, local governments, proprietors and all other stakeholders to begin to take steps that will facilitate an early and safe reopening. Schools have been locked up across Nigeria since March as part of measures to curb the spread of coronavirus in the country. The Edo State Governor, Godwin Obaseki, has reacted to the report that Osagi Ize Iyamu has been adopted as a consensus candidate by a faction of the All Progressives Congress APC in Edo. 7 governorship aspirants in the Edo State APC were said to have met Tuesday and adopted Mr. Ize Iyamu as their consensus candidate before he proceeded to pick his nomination form on Wednesday at the APC National Secretariat, Abuja. Mr. Ize Iyamu and others who stepped down for him belong to a faction of the APC in Edo State that is loyal to the APC National Chairman, Adams Oshomole, who is engaged in a fierce political fight with Mr. Obaseki. The Edo State chapter of the APC, which is responsible for deploying the inner working of the party towards the emergence of the candidate of the APC in the forthcoming gubernatorial election, resides and operates in Edo State, not Abuja. A statement issued on Wednesday by the Government House, Benin City, stated. The statement was signed by Mr. Obaseki's spokesman, Kuruso Osagi. Between the year 2011 and 2020, Nigeria paid at least $18.34 million, equivalent to 7 billion naira, as ransom to kidnappers as report on the country's kidnap industry shows. The report from SB Morgan SBM Intelligence published early this month captures the kidnap cases that occurred from June 2011 to the end of March 2020 using data collected from the Armed Conflict Location and Event Data Project, the Council for Foreign Relations Nigeria Security Tracker, newspaper reports including Premium Times and SBM, Intel's own countrywide network of researchers. It also contains the breakdown of names of victims, date, state and amount paid respectively. According to SBM, 4 of the top 10 states with a high number of kidnap incidents over the last decade are in the South-South geopolitical zone, with 3 of them being Bayelsa 85, Delta 96, Rivers 120. Other states with high kidnap incidents include Kaduna 177, Borno 82, Kogi 59, Edo 55, Ondo 54, Katsina 52, and Taraba 47. It will appear that in the south, while kidnapping may be frequent, the selection of victims is more targeted and the kidnappers see it more as a business transaction, trying hard to extract money from their criminal activities, part of the report reads. It also notes that victims are unable to pay up as quickly as expected, as more likely to be killed by kidnappers. The report states up till late 2018, kidnapped attempts were targeted at specific victims who were mostly politically exposed persons, business people and their close relatives or expatriates. On business, the World Bank has approved $346 million in International Development Association IDA financing to help strengthen resilience and livelihood in the Lake Chad region. The cash will be shared among Cameroon, Chad, Niger and Nigeria. In the Lake Chad, there are gaps in infrastructure, access to basic services is poor, and natural resources and livelihoods are severely impacted by climate change. According to a statement from the World Bank, the situation is exacerbated by insecurity prevailing since 2009 due to the insurgent activities that prevent more than 49 million people from attaining their livelihoods in fishing, livestock farming and agriculture. The 2 new facilities focus on enhancing regional collaboration among the 4 countries to support communities close to the shore of Lake Chad areas and to improve the living conditions of the population, including vulnerable women and youths who face the negative impact of climate change and suffer from insecurity. The first project to be funded at $170 million is the Lake Chad Region Recovery and Development Project. It will support national and regional coordination platforms and local capacity building, contribute to restore sustainable rural mobility and connectivity, and strengthen the recovery of agricultural livelihoods in selected provinces of Cameroon, Chad and Niger. The facility will also promote knowledge sharing and regional dialogue with a data platform hosted at the Lake Chad Basin Commission. And on the international scene, the Lebanese ambassador to Nigeria, Hussein Diab, said his country has repatriated 69 Nigerians stranded in Lebanon. Diab said this at a news conference on Thursday in Abuja. According to him, both Lebanon and Nigeria ensured safe return of the stranded citizens. He said that the operation would not have been possible without the sponsorship of the National Lebanese Airlines, the Lebanese community in Nigeria and Lebanese embassy in Abuja. The ambassador said that the 3 assisted in funding and organizing the repatriation and the 14-day quarantine of 50 of the 69 repatriated citizens. Diab said the other 19 Nigerians were sponsored by International Organization on Migration. This operation resulted from extensive cooperation between the Embassy of Lebanon in Abuja and the Lebanese Nigerian Ministry of Foreign Affairs and its Nigerian counterpart, with assistance from other governmental authorities. He listed the authorities to include the Lebanese Security General and the Nigeria Center for Disease Control (NCDC). That has been the news from Standard Voice Television. To end the news, a quick look at the major headlines. 2 mobile police squadrons established in Zamfara State. Nigeria records 389 new cases of COVID-19. Total now 8,733. Nigerian government directs states and proprietors to reopen schools. On business, World Bank approves $346 million for Lake Chad. And on the international scene, Lebanon repatriates 69 stranded Nigerians. That's the news. On behalf of the production crew, Head of News and Current Affairs Department, Ibrahim Garbatuna. I am Samira Ibrahim, wishing you a pleasant day. Keep watching Standard Voice Television News. Goodbye.